everybody, it's Andrea, aka VioletKitty411, and welcome back to my channel. Thank you so much to everybody who has been engaging through comments, likes, and subscribes. I appreciate you so much. It makes it so much more fun to do these when I do have an engaged audience. So today we're not going to do a building video, we're not going to do a let's play. This is more of a game setup and or maintenance video, because I do have a Sims 2 group on Facebook, and I'll link it below. And I am very excited that when I was gifted this group, that was 13 years old at the time that I was gifted it, it had 900 members. And that was 8 months ago. Now it has 6,100 members because interest in this game is growing by leaps and bounds. It's so exciting. So we've got people who are old school players who are coming back. We also have people who have only played maybe the later games who are starting to check it out because they see old school player videos or something like that, and they're getting interested. So it's very exciting, all of the interest that Sims 2 is getting, because those of us who are old school are going to shout, "This is the best game ever." Okay, so it is. All right, but there are some difficulties, or challenges I should say, that come with putting a 19-year-old game on a modern system. First, let's talk about systems. I have a mega gaming system. It's beautiful. It runs Sims 4 amazingly well, but it is too big for this game. So I actually play The Sims 2 on an HP all-in-one that I paid $600 for brand new just 2 years ago. It is not necessary to spend a lot of money on a machine for this game. This is a Windows 10. It doesn't have a high-end graphics card, but it has enough. And it's actually a better computer than my mega gaming system that I purchased when Sims 2 was first announced. So I'm just saying, yeah, it's like a third of the cost of my mega gaming system back then. It's a third of the cost of the mega gaming system that I have today, and it plays better than either of those. So yeah, no sense in spending a lot of money. But if you do have an older computer, a Vista or an XP, you know, go for it. Go for it. If it's still running, yeah, go for it. But most of us can't keep our Vistas and our XPs running that long. They do have a life expectancy. So I actually play through the EA app. I got the Ultimate Collection when it was available for free on the EA app, actually back then, the Origin. And you might hear me use the words interchangeably. I'll probably say Origin at some point when I wasn't thinking it, because it's been Origin for a long time and I just switched over. Okay, so anyway, I play the Ultimate Collection through the Origin. My personal opinion is that is the easiest way to play, but if you didn't get it, since EA is no longer supporting it, you will need to find a third-party site to get it. And I have some linked in the description below. I have never used any of these. I have heard people for all three of the sites that I have just speak their praises. So it's more or less choose which one you want to use. I have used Old Games Download for the Stories collection and for Sims 1. I've not experienced any personal problems. So yeah, remember, this is abandonware, so yeah, go for it. If you have physical discs, they are not optimized for newer computers. However, if you do have a Vista or an XP, maybe that is your best option. So, but if you do have the physical discs, like I said, they're not optimized, and it is just easier to go forward with the download. As a matter of fact, even people who do have the older computers are finding it easier. I was actually playing the Ultimate Collection on a Windows 7 for a long time before I did this. So yeah, let's go for it. So after you get your game installed, before you do just about anything, you're gonna want to seriously consider running in windowed mode. The reason I highly suggest running in windowed mode is because it naturally helps reduce crashes, and it also naturally helps lighting. You may have noticed that your Sims are super bright in Create a Sim, like totally overlit, and this is going to help. So the way to run in windowed mode is very, very easy, not hard at all. You'll go to your desktop icon and right click and choose properties. Now, if you have Windows 11, you might need to choose see more options before properties are a difference. I mean, Windows has been around, you know, now 30 plus years, and they finally just added that in the most recent. So we're going to go to properties, and now you see here in the target, under shortcut, the target window, you're going to see that it ends just like this with the EXE, okay? And you're going to carefully type at the end space -W, okay? And if you've done that correctly, space -W, click apply and OK. Now, if you are running through the EA app, you need to do this twofold. So we're going to go to, I've already repaired my game. I just did it so I could show you all this information. So it's basically the same as a new installation, but I still have all of my hoods as I've previously had them. So we're going to go to, and you're just going to tap in -W right there like you did at the end. Well, it's not space -W, it's just -W. Okay, so type that in and there. Now let's open the game. Now, if you are running in Windows correctly, the way it's supposed to be, you will have your window quite small on your screen like it is here. That's okay. This is the way it's supposed to be. Don't worry. We'll be back. So we're going to go into a neighborhood, and this step is not actually necessary. I'm just showing it for reference purpose. And once we go into our UI, go to options, F5, and graphics and performance option, you'll see that screen size is limited to 800 by 600, and there are no other options. So that's what we need to change, and I'm going to show you how. Now what we're going to do is Google Sims 2 screen resolution, and the first option should be the Sims 2 Ultimate Collection Increase Resolution Guide. So that's what we're going to use. I'm going to walk you through it. Like I said, I'm very good at Google, and I'm very good at following directions. And so I'm not trying to take any credit away. This is just so easy, but I know some people prefer a video as opposed to a written word. I prefer the written word. That's why I did it that way. But yeah. Now from here, you're going to need to find the correct folder in the deep files, because there's two files. The documents are where you're going to do most of your work, where you're going to put your downloads, where you're going to find your neighborhoods in the documents, EA games, Ultimate Collection. There you go. But we're going to be in the deeper files right now. We're going to be in the C program files, so Windows C. And now previously this was all under the program files 86, but when I moved to EA app, it is now in program files, not times 86, and now we're going to look for EA games, Ultimate Collection. Now I'm going to go with Fun with Pets, SP9, TS Data, Res, Config, and now I'm looking for this right here, the graphic rules. Now I want to move that graphic rules to the desktop. If I can grab it and move to the desktop, it's going to ask you for administrator permission, and I will give it, and now we will open it. If it asks you for what program to open it with, choose Notepad. Once you're in the graphic rules, there are a lot of things we can do in here. This is a pretty, this file goes on pretty long. I'm going to deal with 3 specific things that we want to deal with here. And the first is right here, short after the line of pound symbols, there's a SETI off, SETI on. and then there's SETI 1, low 1, medium 2, high 3. We're going to change that 1 and that 2 both to 3, and we are happy with it. Okay, now you're going to do a Control F, and you're going to type in screen mode resolution. Okay, helps if you spell it right, Andrea. There we go. Okay, screen mode resolution. I'll close that, and now I'm going to bring it up right like this. Now these modules are all the same, and this is why I am limited to the 800 by 600 currently. So I want these modules to all reflect the same as here. Now you might want to, I should have said this earlier, you might want to actually make a copy and put it someplace else on your desk, maybe in a different file, in case you mess up. But if you do mess up, that's fine. Just quit without saving. Same as your game. If you don't like it, quit without saving. Just the name of the game. Okay, so I am going to change this right here to be identical. So from 800 to 1920, from 600 to 1080, and the 800 and the 600 remain the same. And same here, 1920, 1080, 800, 600, and then 1920, 1080, 1024, 768, and then 1920, 1080, 1024, 768. Okay, everything is identical. I am satisfied, so I'm going to File and Save. That's the first thing I want to change. The second thing I want to change is addressing the nature of the black box shadows. Now, if you're on just ground or a ground level, you don't see these. But if your sim is on a foundation or on level 2, 3, 4, you will see these, the black box that appears under your sims, and that's under pets as well as humans. So what you're going to do is, we will search for sim shadows. Now it's going to tell me that they can't find it. That's because sim shadows is above this. So I will scroll back up to the top, click anywhere in the document, and then find next. And now I have sim shadow false, objects, group, group, group. And so now I'm going to change this right here, sim shadow true, into false. And I'm satisfied, and so I will save. All right, one more thing I want to change in this file. And so we will scroll to the top, just click in there and pull my F up, and now I'm going to type in visit and the introp max number of visiting sims. Okay, so my game, you may have seen my parties recently. I have a lot of sims invited, and it's because I changed this right here. And I changed this 8 to a 20. I also changed this 6 to 20, and I changed this 2 also to 20. I am happy. File and save. All right. Now I am going to close this file, and I am just going to move it right back into the config folder. It's going to ask me for permission, and I will give it, and that's it. Now, before we open our game, I've got one more thing to do. Let's talk about graphics. Now, your modern computer is just a little too big for the graphics of this game, so we need to expand it, and that's why we're going to add the 4 GB patch. Okay, so you Google 4 GB patch, and you'll come up with the first one there, NT Core. That's the one that we're going to go with. We'll go into there, and now we will download the 4 GB patch. And I've already downloaded it today, so I'm not going to re-download it, but yeah. Now that I'm in my downloads, we're going to go ahead and unzip it. I have BreeZip, so it automatically unzips on its own. And I am going to copy this into there. You can actually copy it anywhere you want, but I'm going to put it in EA Games Ultimate Collection right there. And I got this information from T-Addict, and I'm going to put her video below because she's going to talk about something called Graphic Rule Maker, which does a lot of what I've just shown you in the config file, but it's an exterior program. I'm not a fan, but I know some people would prefer to use it. So I'm going to make sure that you give her props. And plus, she's got a really cute Australian accent. She's just delightful to listen to. Who knows? She might be Kiwi. I can't tell the difference between an Australian and a Kiwi. The Kiwi say I sound Aussie. The Aussie say I sound Kiwi. Okay, just saying. Okay, so anyway, once that GB patch is wherever you want it on your system, I want it right there because that's where she suggested we keep it, and it makes perfect sense. Let's double click it. And yes, I want it to make things. Now, since I've just done this today, it automatically popped up where I need it to pop up, but you're going to go into the same root file. So it's going to be under your program files, C, and then this is going to be the 86 EA Games Ultimate Collection Fun with Pets SP9 TS bin. And now you're going to choose the executable that we need, which is going to be the Sims 2 EP9 EXE. Okay? None of the others. And they might not show as extra large icons like I have here, but I have it as extra large icons. So we're going to go ahead and do that. Okay. And successfully patched. There we go. That's all I need to do. And one last thing before we reopen our game, the idea of new and exciting content, custom content, mods. Well, there's a world of them. And yeah, there's still a lot out there. The Sims resource and Mod the Sims and More Awesome Than You are just a few that I tend to choose from. But there's also a lot of smaller sites that are extremely well done, creative, some beautiful stuff out there. So let's just look for some of the most interesting stuff. Let's go for Sims 2 Castaway Stories Conversion. And up here we've got Stories to Sims 2 Conversion Database by LiveJournal, but let's go ahead to the Great Extraction Castaway Stuff Collection. So that's Meet Me to the River. She has done clean templates of all the neighborhoods. And so anyway, the downloads, 2 parts because MediaFire is done, and you would have to have a zipper because these are definitely very large files. You would download and open it up and then just extract it into your game. And the place that you extract them would be Documents, EA Games, The Sims 2 Ultimate Collection downloads. Now you can download them as just these random files, like I have a lot of these down here, which is disorganized, or you can keep it organized right up here, like I have all of these that I've done, the Affinity Sims farm stuff, Castaway stuff, clothing, curtains, genetics, whatever. I don't actually have a lot in the way of hacks. These are things that actually change the game. I don't tend to change the game a lot, but I highly suggest organizing with folders. If you go on a massive download spree, put them in and date the folder. It's just neater, more organized. You'll thank me later. So now after all that, let's start the game again. So once we've gone through all of that, and we've started up again, still small. but that's not a problem. Let's again go straight to Pleasant View and I'll be right back. So we're going to go to the options, the graphics and performance again, and now look at this. I've got all these options, scroll all the way down, and I'm going to choose the 1920 by 1080 and apply. And it's going to take a little bit of time as it makes the adjustment, but I'm going to have the full screen minus the very top and the very bottom bar. You could run in borderless windowed mode, but I actually prefer to have a bordered windowed mode because of my Let's Plays and building, because it's just easier with my screen grabbing technology. Where are we? Yes, I do want to keep this. And now, we're going to, just one second. Okay, and it got just a little bit off kilter, but there we go. Now my screen is pretty much full size. Again, just the difference of the bottom and the top, but everything else is quite great. Now let's go take a look into CAS. Create a sim, create a family, same diff. Now, if you were using non-windowed mode before, you may have noticed some seriously bright overexposed sims. Now they are showing their correct skin tone, as they should, and that's the goal. And we've got no black box shadows underneath our sims. Darren, why don't you try to throw a party? And I show 20 guests maximum, so he could invite everybody he knows, and who knows, might even have a witch show up. Of course, they probably won't because they barely know him. Okay, and 2 witches did show up, Tara and Jane Walton, so that's pretty cool. And as far as the 4G patch, or 4GB patch, you don't really see it or see any evidences of it. What you get out of it is what you don't see. You'll have reduced crashing, you'll have reduced issues of what is called either pink soup or purple flashing or something like that. And that will overall help make your game run more smoothly. So I hope this was helpful. And don't forget to comment, like, and subscribe. I will see you soon in the pixelated world. Happy simming, and VK out.